Well, hello again. This is Pete Howard, and thanks for dropping by PosterCentral.com's video blog. And today we're looking at Jim Salser Presents concert posters for some very major artists, namely the Jimi Hendrix Experience in 1967, and this 67 poster as well, featuring the Grateful Dead and the Doors. Now, Jim Salser Presents took place above Los Angeles and below Santa Barbara, although the concerts today we're discussing were in Santa Barbara. Salser's based in Ventura and Oxnard area, and I happened to actually go to high school in the area at the time. And he, for better or worse, that's a very important caveat, Salser, like nobody else, when he reproduced his concert posters after the shows to sell in Jim Salser Emporium, which is a music store in Oxnard and so forth, he used the exact same plates quite often, and if he made any subtle changes, he tried to use the same paper. His whole ethos was sell people an exact knockoff of what the original concert poster was, which was intentionally intended, of course, to just be an advertising piece to sell tickets. So when I say better or worse, a lot of people who buy these things are perfectly happy with the reproduction. They love the fact they look exactly like the originals. But true collectors, such as myself, we want the ones that were printed before the show only, just to sell tickets, and that's a huge dividing line. As soon as the last act put their guitar down and walked off stage, we didn't want anything printed, right? We just want stuff printed before the show. So there are subtle differences in ways to tell. With this particular 1967 April 29th concert poster, it's headlining the Grateful Dead, and second build are the Doors, just coming, right around the time of their first album, the Los Angeles Band, and then UFO and Captain Speed. And I'll come in for a little bit of a closer look here for just a moment. And you can see the, obviously you can freeze frame it and try to make out the letters if you like. It's I would call it, an average psychedelic artwork, probably done by a local, and nothing to write home about, but not bad either. I do like the fact that, I really like the fact that it says there, 8 o'clock, the doors will open. Now that's a nice double play on words. Did they mean that the Los Angeles band, the Doors, would play first? Or is that literally when the doors open at 8 o'clock, which is kind of late for a 4-act bill to not even the concert start, but actually for just the people to start coming into the arena. I mean, 8 o'clock doors opening probably means 9 o'clock concert starting, which is possible. It's also possible the doors will open is not tied to the 8 o'clock, and it's just a clever thing to say when the Doors are on the bill. Again, still largely an unknown band out of Los Angeles. Anyway, getting to the originality of the printings. This one was printed before the show, and there's a couple of ways you can tell. One of the ways is, you can tell by a defect on the repro, and here's the repro right here. As you can see, it's same everything almost, same size, same appearance and so forth, except if you look at the G in Showgrounds and the second R in Warren, right down here, you'll see a printer's flaw. And that printer's flaw is present on all the reproductions. And another way to tell, if you happen to have a black light, a lot of people have a small handy black light to use, forensic experts and CSI and everything's always using black lights, you can really notice things. Under the black light, the reproductions really pop. And the original, on more dull paper, just have a sort of a, they don't pop. There's some reaction on the white paper, but nothing like the reproductions. Unfortunately, it might take the two side by side for you to really be able to tell the difference. So the printer's flaw is probably the best way to go on this one. And by the way, we just did a video blog on, I just did one on the Led Zeppelin Jethro Tull poster from '69, August of '69. Same thing is true. One more clue yet to the originals versus the repros is the repros really pop. The whites really turn into purple and look great under a black light, whereas the originals are much more dull. And then, secondly, in this particular blog entry, we have another 1967 poster from Jim Salser Presents, and that, of course, is the mighty Jimi Hendrix Experience. Interestingly, Country Joe and the Fish opening, and the Strawberry Alarm Clock with their incense and peppermints. I'll give you a quick scan of this one. And the way to tell the few originals from the many, many reprints, which again, the reprints continue to be sold to this day, is that the paper stock, this is a duller paper stock which does not pop under a black light, and the reproductions are on a whiter paper stock which do pop. But even that's a little hard to tell. But there's a nice color difference that can really make a difference, and that is up there in the upper left-hand corner, the July. It's on the original right here. It's a very dull red. And on the repro, see what a bright red that is? So the repro has the bright red July word, and if I move them like this, you can really see them side by side. The top one is the original, printed before the show, and the bottom one, the bright red July, is the after printing, of which is very common. So a little bit of detective work here on determining originals from repros on the Southern California scene for Jim Salser Presents, with some darn important artists squeezing in Jimi Hendrix, The Doors, and the Grateful Dead into one short video blog. So I hope it was useful for you. Hope you got some value from this, and thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next time. Take care.